And so Papunin wisely ran away for dear life.
Wise? Who wise now? You useless idiot! Why can Papunin not even die properly? What if they ask Banner to repay money?
Huh? Die? Repay who?
None of your business. Anyway, tell me where Rex and Blade went.
Rex, Titan, and friends ran away. Went to south of Cyclus Sea. After that, Banner knew as much as Papunin. Storm was very thick, so Papunin...
Papunin lose them, yes?
Yes, but...
And then run away like coward?
Yes, but...
Banner not wanting feeble excuses of Papunin! Just get back here! You got lot of work to do! Even pricey insurance Banner take out on Maelstrom go to waste. Still, how interesting. Heading southward from Cyclus Sea. In current season, that likely take them to Gormont. You, girl, get Consul Dougal on the line, immediately!
Yes, sir. One moment, please.
Why, if it isn't Chairman Banner! What an unexpected pleasure! May I just say that I admire how you rebranded those broken core crystals? And selling them on to the dunderheads back in Morardain. Absolutely sublime!
Banner did not call to hear pointless flattery. And blabbering about core crystals on unsecured line? Is Dougal some kind of idiot? What if Indol tap our communication?
Oh, of course. I'm very sorry.
Man, forget it. We got bigger fishes to fry.
Oh? What's going on?
Listen up.
Pyra?
Oh, thank goodness. You aren't injured at all, are you?
No, I'm fine, I guess. Where?
I'm not certain. We seem to have washed up on a Titan of some kind.
A Titan? Where's Gramps and Nia? We gotta find them. They can't be far.
Okay.
Hello, this is Prince of Somnia, and welcome back to more Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. In the last episode, we finished off Chapter 1. I didn't really get a whole lot of time to speak in that episode because, well, cutscenes and stuff. But anyway, so we've got a little tutorial here, but I'm going to skip past all of this because I know how to play the video game, and I'll go ahead and explain it myself, since I at least like to imagine that I know quite a bit about this game. I mean, I wrote a guide for it, and anyway, so the tutorial there was mentioning a little bit about stats. So just like, you know, any other standard JRPG, we've got stats in this game. You've got HP, which does what you think it does. If it gets down to 0, you die. But fortunately in this game, if you're, well, first off, if your party leader dies and you have either no other people in the party or you don't have any segments of the party gauge filled out, which I'll explain a little bit later, you'll game over and you'll get sent back to the last landmark you visited, which is a lot more forgiving than you might think it is. But anyway, HP also recovers outside of battle automatically, like I said before, so you don't need to worry about that so much. You've got Strength, which determines how much damage physical attacks with like auto attacks, and how much physical arts will do as well. Ether is a similar sort of stat, except for ether damage with weapons like ether cannons, as well as ether arts and recovery arts. Dexterity, I believe, influences your hit percentage, how often you'll be able to hit an enemy. Basically, the way hitting an enemy works is that it's based off of your dexterity and their agility, and generally speaking, higher level enemies are just a lot harder to hit than you would think they are. Agility is how often you can, or determines how often you can dodge attacks that come your way. I'm not sure. I think you can dodge all specials, but I think the agility stat doesn't actually influence how often you block, which I'll also explain in short order. And then luck, among other things, influences your critical hit ratio. There's more to luck than that, but I won't explain it yet because we haven't quite gotten to when it's relevant. Anyway, we've also got Pyra on our side, which introduces, well, blades, which is primarily how weapon progression in this game works. Every blade in the game has a specific weapon type, as well as a specific element. Pyra here is fire elemental, and every blade also has a role, which in this case is attack. Basically what roles do is that they determine a driver's job class. So you see how Rex is a fighter? That's because he has one attack blade equipped. If we got 2 more of those and equipped them on Rex, which well, you can't get 2 more right now, and you also can't equip 3 right now, but if I were to do that, he'd be a Master Fighter, which is like the highest level of fighter you can be. And you can mix and match blades of different roles as well. Just in general, well, not in general, there are 3 roles. There are attack blades, tank blades, and healer blades, and they specialize in, well, attacking, tanking, and healing. I don't know what you expected. Anyway, blades have stats of their own. Auto attack, block rate, and critical rate are all determined by core chips, which is basically like a weapon upgrade. They're semi-permanent in that once you use a core chip, it's gone for good, but you can swap out core chips anytime you want, as long as you're willing to pay more for them, or, well, find them around in the world. Auto attack is literally how much damage your auto attacks do. It's also scaled by your attack strength, but this is its base value. Block rate is the chance your blade has to reduce the damage you take by blocking, which is really, really good. Although I will point out that regardless of block rate, your blade will always block for you while you're using a special, which is also really nice. And then critical rate is what you think it is. It's how often you hit it with Sorry, I can't speak today apparently. It's how often you will unleash a critical hit on your enemies. Blades are also responsible for determining modifiers for your physical defense and ether defense. You can adjust those with a certain type of modification for blades that we'll get into a little bit later. But for right now, I wouldn't worry too much about them because more so your defensive capabilities lie in either your agility stat or your roll. And then strength, I don't actually know what that does, but well, generally speaking, the higher it is, the stronger your blade tends to be. And on top of that, you can, increase your strength through trust. Basically what trust is you can gain it by either using the blade in battle, using a whole lot of pouch items with the blade equipped, or by doing a lot of side quests with the blade equipped. And other than increasing your blade stats just in general, trust is used to unlock nodes
usefulness has
levels
increased
on this affinity chart here. Basically, a blade's affinity chart will determine its effectiveness in battle. The higher up you go on the affinity chart for a given skill, the better that skill will be. So like flame, well, to explain, these red nodes here directly influence the blade's specials. So this is level 1, 2, and 3, and this is their effect in battle. So if I were to upgrade Flame Nova, for example, all the way, it would double the damage that special does against beasts. Yellow nodes like this are passive nodes. They just take effect during battle depending on what exactly they do. So Purifying Flames has a chance of instantly killing non-bosses at low HP, and so on and so forth. So they're pretty useful to have, honestly. Generally speaking, I'm not going to go all out of my way to go after affinity nodes unless I absolutely need to. Generally speaking, that would be these green nodes. These are field skills, which we'll be getting into a little bit later in this episode. But, well, TLDR, they're essentially HMs you have to grind for, and I mean that in every sense of the word. As for drivers, I mentioned already all the things about their stats. Now, you also have this menu option, Enhance Arts, which lets you enhance the arts that you have that are tied to specific weapons. Every driver for a certain type of weapon has certain arts for them. So with Aegis swords, for example, Rex has Anchor Shot, Sword Bash, Double Spinning Edge, and Rolling Smash. We've already seen these three. Rolling Smash basically just reduces aggro upon landing a hit, which I mean, it's useful, but I honestly think Double Spinning Edge, Sword Bash, and Anchor Shot are just more useful, especially since they both come out all three of these come out faster than Rolling Smash does, and Rolling Smash is an ether art, and Rex has not good ether at all. So I'll just stick with the three I have up there, especially with Anchor Shot. It's just too useful not to have. Drivers also have affinity charts, but they work differently than blades do. Instead of having to work on like trust or anything like that, basically the way you unlock things is with skill points, which you get from doing fighting. I'm gonna hold off on spending skill points on, well, just about every driver until I can get their variations of the rapid attack skill, which basically starts the fight with the X button art off of cooldown, which is extremely useful. We've also got pouches, which I did mention before. You can use pouch items, and they have various effects. This is basically where all of your like defensive modifiers really come from. Although, generally speaking, don't use pouch items all that often. You can pretty well get away with it for everything in the game, honestly. Although they do help. It's just going to talk a little bit more. You could leave this area right now. If you press the X button, you can open up the skip travel menu, and you can actually just fuck off all the way back to the Argentum Trade Guild to go and buy core chips or whatever you need. But I'm not going to do that because I think it's kind of immersion breaking, and I'm also going to have to censor out the location we're at right now because we're not supposed to know that, but whatever. Anyway, we've got some enemies over here. We're getting to a part of the game where instead of having like a dungeon with enemies we can just take out in succession, we're going to be getting into wide open areas with a lot of different enemies, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time fighting them, especially not on screen. So yeah, there is one thing though I do want to demonstrate.
Rex, let's go!
Let's see if I can get into a fight here. Yeah, there we go. So I mentioned earlier things about auto-attacking. So if you press the art button on the instant an auto-attack connects, there you go. Yeah, you cancel that auto-attack into an art. And what that essentially does is it not only increases the damage that art will do, but it also increases how much charge it builds up for the special.
Let's keep this up and we'll win for sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling stronger than before.
That's another reason why I do the flick stick strat that I have been doing, where I just flick the stick after every auto attack. It makes it really easy for me, with Aegis swords especially, to just time when I'm going to be able to cancel an auto attack. The nice thing about canceling, by the way, you can cancel arts into specials, and later on in the game there's a skill that lets you cancel specials into other specials, which is really good. We'll be using and abusing that strategy a lot, viewers. Trust me. Anyway, for the enemies here, just in general, try not to fight anything that's either bigger than you or higher than your level, because in both of those cases, the enemy's probably going to be a little bit too strong for Rex to handle alone. I also recommend not trying to fight much more than 1 or 2 enemies at a time, or you might get swamped.
Gramps!
It is good to see you uninjured, Rex.
How awful.
Hold on. I should have some herbs.
You are kind, but no amount of human medicine would suffice.
But
Weep not, my boy. This is my fate.
I can't help it. Can I?
No parting is forever. We will surely meet again when the flow of the ether wills it. The days with you were the best I ever had. Until we meet again, Rex.
Gramps. Gramps. Gramps!
I told you not to cry, didn't I, Rex? Rex. Rex.
Gramps!
Rex!
What? Gramps? How was that?
It can't be.
Use your eyes. Don't you recognize me?
Well, not really, no.
I am so confused right now.
So you see, by maximizing cellular regeneration to retain all vital bodily functions, I seem to have reverted to a larval stage.
Well, that's quite handy. Must be nice to be a Titan.
This isn't something just any old Titan can do. Only one so advanced as myself. Rex, are you angry?
I'm not. It's more that I didn't want you to see me blubbering like a baby.
Oh, it's okay to be angry.
So, when will you be back to your old self?
Good question. No more than 300 years.
300 years? But I'll be long dead by then.
I suppose that's true.
But what about my house? Do I have to live in the streets?
Perhaps this is an opportunity to fly the nest.
You mean pay rent?
Oh, miser boots.
It's a massive extra expense. Still. Glad you're okay, Gramps. Oh, shoot. We can't stand around all day. We have to find Nia.
Nia? You mean that driver and her blade from before?
Yeah. They kind of saved our lives.
I do hope they're all right.
Gramps, do you remember anything?
I remember crashing through many trees before landing here. They probably fell off then.
That's not a whole lot to go on.
Perhaps we would have some luck following the trail of broken trees.
Good thinking, Pyra. Let's go.
By the way, Rex, is that a core crystal I see shining on your chest? Just what happened to you?
I'll tell you later. Right now, we need to find Nia.
Oh, now this makes a nice change.
Okay, I'm gonna level with you viewers. I kind of don't like that cutscene a little bit. Like, I mean, it had the potential to be really heart-wrenching and tragic, and then out of nowhere you just hear Rex! And it just totally kills the mood. I mean, the comedic effect is nice, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a fan of fake-out deaths or something like that. I don't know. Oh well. I'm also kind of not the biggest fan of Gramps' role in the plot, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, over here we've got a collection point.
Come out.
Basically, instead of having item orbs or whatever they called it in Xenoblade Chronicles X, we have collection points where you can rummage around them and they'll throw out collectibles. Basically what those are used for are for refining ox cores, which you don't have yet, and for side quests, because there are collectathon side quests in this game. I don't know why you would expect anything different, viewers. It's a JRPG, there are always collectathons. Now I mentioned field skills earlier in the episode. This is the first real example of where you're supposed to use them. They're basically things you encounter in the world that you can interact with, and depending on what field skills the blades you have active currently have, you'll be able to use them to clear a pathway forward. And like I mentioned before, how I called them HMs you have to grind for, I hate field skills! I really don't think that they're a very good thing to have in a game like this, to be honest, and they end up being more frustrating than anything else. Fortunately for you and for my sanity, the game tends to not put field skills in your way that you can't possibly have in order to progress with the plot. I mean, there is one instance where I'm going to have to go and find another blade and grind its field skill in order to actually move on with the game. But even then, you don't have to do it that way, it's just easier to do it that way. And I'll get to that when I get to that. Anyway, let's head on over here.
What's that sound?
I felt a ripple in the ether. Feels like a driver is using a blade in battle. I'm certain of it.
Let's go.
Okay.
My lady, leave this to me.
I'm not just gonna abandon you, Joma.
What? We're here to help. Mia!
Rex! What are you doing here?
My lady, now's our chance. Let's attack.
Alright then!
The Brog kind of looked a little confused when I showed up there. Anyway, the game's gonna take a little time to explain to you about fighting with multiple party members. The key thing to pull out of this, first off, is you see that bar in the top left corner there? That's the party gauge. Basically, you can fill that by canceling and performing blade combos. And essentially what that does, for right now, I mean, it does more than what I'm about to say, but for right now, if you have at least one part of the gauge filled in, if one of your party members die, the other can revive them in the middle of a fight, which is really, really useful. Even the party leader can die safely, and the backup party members will resurrect you, which is really nice. Another thing to take away is that during battle, you can actually use the party member's special if it will continue on a blade combo that you can see over on the right side of the screen. So let's use Mia's special, level 2 right here, and we'll be able to advance the blade combo to the second stage. Basically, the way blade combos work is that you use a certain set of elements in succession. I'll put a link in the video description that'll explain more about that. And it'll perform a blade combo for massive damage. I'll explain more about it later, because we really can't pull off the blade combo right now, but that's generally how they go. So yeah, if I were to somehow manage to build up a level 3 fire elemental special, we could have finished off the blade combo with fire, water, fire. Alright, yeah, I don't think this frog's gonna live long. There we go.
Much stronger. So why do you guys even... Well, I guess that's a stupid question.
Indeed.
Seriously, it's good to see you. And you're all right.
Right back at you. Hey, by the way, what happened to the big guy who saved us? The Titan.
Are you talking about me?
Wait, what? How?
That's sort of a long story. Let's get somewhere we can rest. I'll tell you all about it then.
That seems prudent. My lady?
Sure. Lead the way. I see. So you two are off to Elysium. Listen, I never thanked you properly. For saving us, I mean. Dromark said that you carried us all the way here.
We owe you our lives, Titan.
No need to thank me. After all, you were the ones who saved Rex.
Don't mention it. So, you Titans can regenerate. Pretty handy.
This isn't something just any old Titan can...
You can retire that line now.
Excuse me. I'd like less of that attitude. If you had listened to me and declined that reckless job to begin with, we wouldn't be in this mess. Take a nap, you said. Like I was some kind of doddery old man.
Okay, I get it. I'm a terrible disappointment. Look how sorry I am.
Can you not muster even a shred of sincere remorse?
Sorry, but I can't.
What?
If I hadn't taken the job, they'd have got their hands on Pyra.
Rex.
I couldn't let that happen. No way. They can never take her.
Hello there. Still awake, I see.
I can't seem to sleep. It's good to see you again, Azurda.
Likewise. Though you've changed a lot since last we met, Pyra.
I suppose I have. A lot's happened.
Yes, it has. I wanted to thank you for saving my dear Rex. And I need to know what you told him. Is that what you really intend?
Yes. It is my true desire.
I see. Well, that's good enough. I have no reason to doubt you, Pyra.
That said, I do have one other goal now.
Jin and Malos.
I cannot allow them to continue with their current course.
The fate of an Aegis never changes.
Right.
And you're going to get Rex mixed up in this? I'm not blaming you. No matter how hard you tried, that boy would find some way to get involved. I see half your core is missing. Seems you've taken on quite a burden.
Azurda, I...
Promise me you'll take care of Rex.
I will.
Right then. We should probably try and find a town or something. Does anyone have any idea where we are?
This is Gormod, a province of the Ardanian Empire. You must have seen the Gormod Titan before.
Yeah. Only from a distance, though.
We're somewhere around its belly.
So, this is Gormott, huh? Hang on a second. Nia, your ears. Are you Gormotti?
Well done, genius. Took you long enough.
Gormott is the land of my lady's birth.
Wow. Well, that's reassuring.
If we want to find a town, the first step is to get out of this forest. Keep heading up, and we'll hit the plain soon. The town's that way.
Brilliant. Let's get going.
Alright. Well, looks like we know where we are now, so that's at least a relief. But where exactly is this town on Gormott anyway? You'll just have to find out in the next episode of Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.